Yo, welcome to the Newstime Podcast. This will probably be a bit of a shorter episode because some fuckers went long before us. So the people that had the room directly before us also went long. So I don't feel like waiting around when people get here and being like, we need 5 more minutes. So yeah.
No. You're not allowed.
I'm your host, Brooke Stats. Joining me today, Andy Cervelli.
How's it going?
Hunter Rankin.
Yo.
Ren Ramsey.
Hello.
All right. So Hunter, you had a story for us.
This one's kind of embarrassing, and this never happens to me. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I'm
Fucking
the
liar.
least embarrassing person ever. I never do anything that's embarrassing.
Sure.
So I went home for a stand-up show, for Gus Johnson's stand-up show, and then I stayed there a day, and then I came back on the bus. And this morning when I went to get on the bus, I handed the bus driver my ticket, and the bus driver was like, hey, can you go sit? Okay, so what I thought he said was, can you go sit in my chair? Because he has to go to the bathroom. And I was like, that's weird. Why would I sit? And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah. And then I was like, okay. So he handed me the tickets, and I sat in his chair. And this guy was taking a long bathroom break. I got to tell you, it was a long one. And I was like, okay, I mean, it's a bit weird, but I guess I'll keep sitting here. And I was like making light banter with the people in the front, like, yeah, I don't know why he wanted me to sit here. And then he comes back, and I get up from the seat, and and he's like, why are you sitting in my chair? and I'm like, well, I thought you said to sit in my chair, to sit in your chair. And he said, no, I meant you need to set the tickets in my chair. And I was like, oh, my bad. And he's like, I would hire you though. I mean, you sat in my chair. So then I just walk ashamed to towards the middle of the bus because I didn't want to be too close to have any more awkward encounters happen. And then I put my headphones on and cried the whole way to Athens.
Good shit.
It was so bad. I did so tweet that you made though. Now that I remember. Oh gosh.
So talking good. To the mic, Andy. Goddamn.
No, I don't wanna. I just gotta sit up.
And you should just walk over the wall and just speak into the wall.
Hello, Mom.
All right. So I've got some quick political updates here. So last week I did a rundown of every presidential primary candidate. Tonight's the third Democratic debate. So that's going to be exciting. I'll be watching that and wanting to die. But we have a new candidate in the race for the Republicans. His name is Mark Sanford. He's a former governor and former congressman from South Carolina. From my cursory glance, he looks like a fairly typical conservative. Although he does have this one really, really interesting thing in his history. So he disappeared for a week in 2009 while he was supposedly on a hiking trip. And it turns out he was actually in Argentina having an extramarital affair.
Whoa.
Damn,
that's a long hike.
Right?
I wonder why he was gone for a week. He hiked all that way to get there.
Damn.
Jeez.
That's some commitment though. If your boy shows up after hiking for a week just to have sex with you.
Well, just imagine it. You're hiking from South Carolina to Argentina. You get lost along the way. You meet someone. You think, "Oh, I'm gonna die because I'm out in the wilderness." Yeah. And you're like, "Well, I guess. I mean."
I like it better to assume that he just faked his own missing persons case. And he was like, this is going to be perfectly fine if I just fuck off in the woods and I head to Argentina. My wife's going to be totally fine with that. And then he just comes back and the SWAT team descends on his house. Oh, there you are. And he's like, oh.
Now I'm just imagining he printed off pictures of himself and then went to his local grocery store, brought a glue stick and then just glued a picture of himself on the milk. Just to give people the
in the 90s. Find me, please.
Please, I beg you. I'm not in Argentina,
He
just
just
for
like
those
paid
waters.
somebody to like file a missing persons report after 2 days.
Yeah, so that his wife
he's
wouldn't worry about
he's
it.
like, in 2 days, file a missing report for me. All
Tell
right?
him I went hiking. It'll make me look better.
And then he just laughed.
Yeah.
So I also apparently missed a candidate last week.
Wow, you
Oof.
suck.
Wow.
You had one
How
fucking
could
job.
you?
I'm
We even had
sorry.
extra time at the end.
I'm sorry.
Damn, Brooke. Okay.
So this is another Republican.
Ooh.
Bill Weld, former Massachusetts governor, libertarian, was the running mate of Gary Johnson last election.
Oh, wow. I forgot which one Gary Johnson was.
The libertarian.
Yeah, no shit.
I can't really find anything like super interesting about him. Like
Yeah, that
he's
sounds
another
up.
one of those guys.
Does he
So-
weld?
I
He went to welding school.
I'm glad that got a big laugh from Andy because that was really a throwaway joke. I didn't know what I was doing.
Because I kind of thought about the same track, except Big Weld. From Robots. Yep.
Okay.
His face on Big Weld.
okay.
That's all I'm saying, man.
I'm not gonna Photoshop that and make that the
I will,
picture I put
I
up.
will send it to you
Okay. If you can send it to me by like
tonight.
not tonight. I'm not doing any of this shit tonight.
I will
but
send
like
it to you
tomorrow.
at 3 a.m.
Okay. So yeah. Then there's like just a slight update with one of the candidates. I saw something on Twitter yesterday about a Mr. Andrew Yang. If you remember, he's one of the people who I don't know how the fuck he qualified for the next debate. But apparently tonight he will be doing something that's never been done before at a debate.
Oh, God.
So
How though?
everyone's
There's been so many debates.
everyone's wondering what he's gonna do.
He's gonna whip out his dick.
Yeah,
I
but
know.
Yeah.
I know what it is.
I was going to say he was going to
He's gonna challenge Joe Biden to a duel on stage.
Like,
Yu-Gi-Oh!
That probably
duel.
happened in the 1800s, though.
You're right. Yeah, that already happened. That happened. That happened like with like
Ain't that
Bush.
the plot of Hamilton? Wait,
What is going?
What?
There's an ad playing on my phone.
What the
Wow.
fuck?
My ass opened up
Shit.
Twitter, guys. I have
wait.
a very talented ass.
Your ass just tweeted your tweet. It's just like,
I also have a funny story about my phone and my ass.
oh,
But
Oh.
do
finish,
tell.
finish your comment.
Oh, I was going to say that I thought Hunter's joke was a lot funnier than it actually was because I thought
Oh,
you
yeah.
were talking
Huh?
about Dick Cheney. So, sorry I laughed, but
No, thank you for laughing at.
you're welcome. It was
my-
still funny.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so here's a story about my ass and my phone.
Nice.
It was this summer.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I was like on a walk with my mom, and we're walking back to the house, and my phone's like in my pocket, and it's got this thing where it won't open if it's in your pocket, or it's like sensing that it's in a dark area,
Okay.
which is great because then it won't open on when it's
Yeah.
in your pocket
Yeah.
and butt dial somebody.
Amazing.
Except my phone did something better. My phone unlocked itself, opened Snapchat, went to my best friend, clicked on them, video called them, and then muted the call. But like my video on my end,
Yeah.
but the audio was still working.
Yeah.
So my friend was just like, hello? And I was like, why do I hear what? And I was just like, hello? And then it took like 3 minutes to get like the video and the audio to sync up because something was like weird with like, I don't know what my ass did, but like it somehow did a thing with the video chat on Snapchat that I've never done before.
That's a great sentence right there.
So I was like, all right. And it took 3 minutes to figure that out. And then we were like, she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, well, my ass unlocked my phone and called you. She's like, I'm at dinner with my family. I'm like, oops.
Good shit.
I guess I'm like, I could just call you back. I'm sorry.
Just wait until you find out that your ass is like a famous Twitter user, and famous
Honestly,
like Viner.
I wouldn't. It just opened Twitter
Vine's
on
dead,
its
I'm
own.
sorry.
Why would you bring
Fuck
that
me.
up, Hunter?
I meant to say TikTok, but I said Vine instead.
Wow.
I miss Vine.
We all do.
Yeah.
This one's for you, Vine. Andy wrote a song just for you. Okay. It was Ren who wrote the song just for
Yeah,
you.
yeah, no, Ren actually did write the song.
I've written many songs.
I've wrote.
Uh-huh.
I've
wrote-
written. I have written.
Are they good songs?
Are they good songs?
Bitch. I've never written a song in my life. How would I know?
I wrote
Wow.
many songs.
That's a lie. I wrote songs in like 3rd grade.
Were they
I
good?
thought they were really good, but I was
edgy.
really just ripping off Taylor Swift lyrics.
Hell yeah.
I tried so hard.
And got so far.
But in the end,
It didn't even matter.
Nope.
Next topic.
Oh.
wow, what's next?
Okay.
Do you have anything?
I've got like a few things. I don't know how much we're going to talk about some of these. So National Security Advisor John Bolton was fired recently.
Oh, like Troy Bolton.
I was thinking the same thing. Is that weird? I don't know.
Nah.
Get your head in the game.
He didn't have his head
Have
in the
any,
game.
have any of you seen a picture of John Bolton?
No.
Does he
He's-
look like Troy Bolton?
No, he has like this
Well-
really big mustache, and it's
So he looks like Troy
Oh.
Bolton.
A 70s porno Troy Bolton.
He looks
Yeah.
like
but also
The bootleg
really
version.
fucking old.
Yeah, a 70s porno.
he looks like Troy Bolton, but if he became a serial killer and had his own movie on Netflix.
That's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
basically Ted Bundy.
Yep.
Yeah. He's the new Ted Bundy.
I'm not gonna fucking put up a picture of him in the video. You can, audience at home, you can find him yourself.
Oh
Wow.
boy,
I really
it's
don't
like
care.
a
Oh my
scavenger hunt.
god. So you gotta Google.
I knew who that guy. Why?
He
Why?
looks
Why does
like
he
the
look so
Pringles
familiar?
can guy.
Yeah.
Mm,
I
yeah.
hate that.
No, there's something.
He
Monopoly
looks so
Man?
familiar.
No, it's
Wow. I
kind
saw
of
that.
like both slammed together.
I'm just adjusting levels.
I know.
God
Because
damn
we're
it!
loud.
It takes it like
It's
it,
okay.
it takes constant like work to get these properly like lined up and shit.
Yeah.
Um,
Me too, Andy.
So yeah, John Bolton. So most people know him as someone who really wants to go to war with just about fucking everyone.
That sounds like a great idea.
So
As we discussed in last week's episode.
so he's one of the guys that just wants to fuck over Iran like just so goddamn much.
Hell yeah. Pick a new
and-
country.
The fun thing about him being in the Trump administration is that since Trump's brain is just melting, we got like a few interactions between them like that like have just come out recently. So apparently during a meeting with the Prime Minister of Ireland, Trump asked Bolton if Ireland was one of the countries he wanted to nuke.
Well, what did he say? If it wasn't yes, he's a fucking coward.
No, the potatoes, we need them. The second potato famine. Except the country's gone.
I don't have that interaction
Irish-
pulled up, so I can't answer that. But I don't imagine Bolton was very pleased with that. But
Props to the man who asked him, though.
Hey.
I already forgot who you said it was.
it was
but-
fucking Trump.
Oh.
Honestly, though.
Never mind.
It's still kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
He's just like throwing shade.
Is it like a game of bingo or something? Like Trump has his like card ready.
Who are
He's
we
like
gonna nuke
Ireland.
Like,
so yeah. So like
So he got fired,
people
right?
yeah. I think
good.
I think it happened like through Twitter, which is another funny thing.
it's like
but
breaking up over text, but to the entire world.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
but
like tweeting your girl, hey, I can't date you no more.
I'm sick of
Sorry.
you just trying to go to war
It's-
with all these other bitches.
It's not you, it's me.
It's not you, it's Ireland.
but it's generally a good thing that Bolton is no longer in the position of national security advisor. However, knowing like the Trump administration, the person that's going to come next in that position is like gonna be worse.
Oh, yeah.
There are like two people off the top of my head that I can think of that would be worse. So if either Elliot Abrams or Henry Kissinger get that fucking role, you will know that like it's gotten worse. I doubt it'd be Kissinger. He's so fucking old. But like,
We-
I don't know how he's still alive. He's just like
Captain
living
fucking
off of dark
Hotel.
energy at this point.
We weren't thinking of the same two people. I was thinking Zac Efron and Vanessa Hudgens. Those are the two I was thinking of. I was like, if that happens, then
It's over.
Ireland's gone.
I want this dude, whoever Bolton, whatever his name is. All I can think of is Troy Bolton. I want him to do the scene from High School Musical 3. Where
I
Troy's
gotta
running
go my
across
own way.
the golf course.
Oh,
I
that
need
one.
that. I just need
I just
it.
want them to do all of High School Musical 3 now.
I just want him
the
to.
Trump administration, but it's High School Musical. Yes.
Ooh.
Oh my god, I love Hamilton.
I had something I wanted to say, but it wasn't in my notes, so I forgot it.
Mm.
Wow.
God damn it.
Oh,
Keep. Oh yeah.
Take
Don't.
notes,
Oh yeah.
kids.
So
don't take notes.
Or not.
so
Fuck me, I
predictions.
guess.
So my prediction of Elliot Abrams or Henry Kissinger. I have another prediction. So as of right now, we don't know the exact location of the next Democratic debate, the fourth one. We know it's going to be in Ohio. And I was
Bentley Hall.
I was joking
You
that it
activated my trap card.
I was joking that it was going to be in Athens last week, but I have a legit prediction right now. It's going to be in Dayton
Ooh,
because of the gun
terrible
violence
choice.
issue
Um,
and opioid crisis.
And
yeah,
tornado.
they're gonna have a real fun time. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, they're gonna have a real fun time right now trying to convince Dayton that like
Dayton's not doing too good.
guns are okay. I know.
Poor Dayton.
Dayton's not doing. It's
So-
it's doing its
It's
best.
trying.
It's trying really hard,
And then really failing.
really miserably.
I'm still
But they have a
predicting.
cat cafe, so like they stay winning.
I'm still predicting
Yes.
Athens, but I hope it's like in like Shively Hall or something.
Yeah.
Like one of the
Not
dining
the dining
halls.
hall in Shively.
Beto
the
would be
building.
standing on one of the tables.
Of course it would.
Oh man, get you in the game.
ASMR, but we just read the script of High School Musical to you.
Just do cold reads.
Yeah,
Cold
exactly.
read ASMR.
Hey, my name is Troy Bolton.
Welcome back to my.
What's a warm read?
Gotta get your head in the game.
Well, I'm just like thinking like
A cold read is just because
Hunter, you're
it's just-
majoring in this.
I know, but what's a warm read?
There is no.
There's no
warm read.
warm read, but what would it
I
be?
play the cello.
If you've already done it before,
Oh yeah, that's a good
a
point.
cold read is like you just have the script and it's just from something.
Is there a frozen read?
Yeah, it's called not going to the audition.
I've had
was
so
gonna say
many
it's called Let
frozen
It
reads,
Go.
guys. I've missed so many auditions. I wasn't even going to them though. They just
You know,
happened.
What are you auditioning for? Hunter?
Oh, I wasn't auditioning for anything. There's just been so many
Auditioning.
auditions that happened that I didn't go to.
Oh.
So
He's
Wow.
really tried.
You miss every shot you don't take, Hunter.
Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott.
Yeah.
Wayne Gretzky again.
I fully regret that I just quoted The Office because,
Well, kind of. It was a paraphrase, but
okay, good. I don't want that on my name.
the actual quote is.
Okay, great.
If you guys could trademark a word like Ohio State is trying to do with the,
They already
what word,
failed.
what word would you guys try to
Oh,
trademark?
fuck. I
Dick.
don't know.
Sorry guys, you can't use dick in your advertising because I got it.
Dick's Sporting Goods, mine.
I don't know. There's a lot of
Do you
good
think Dick's
That
has
was the
that
worst.
trademark?
I'd trademark the word bruh.
words. Ooh.
No, because bruh.mp4, man. I need that.
Bruh.
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 I need it in my life.
I was gonna pull up High School Musical quotes to like do more ASMR,
Just like almost die.
but
I'm just trying to drink coffee.
That's coffee.
Coward.
Yeah.
Oh.
I
Wow.
made coffee before I came here.
and you put it in your water bottle.
Hell yeah.
He put it in his
I
hydro
drank-
flask. Thank you.
Shut the fuck up. I first drank all the water that was in there because I had just filled it. So it was full of water. I was like, I just want some coffee though. But I want to take it with me. And my other cup is in the dishwasher. So I was like, yeet down that. And then I made some coffee. Yeah.
Wow. Riveting story.
I-
Truly inspirational.
Thank you. I tried really hard on
I
that.
have tears in my eyes.
Anyway, back to the words that I would
Oh, yeah.
copyright. I have no idea.
Mm,
I'm still trying to think of it.
yeah.
Maybe beans.
I'm going with flabbergasted.
Beans is literally the first
Wow.
word that came to my
Beans
head.
is a good one.
I like
Beans
beans.
is a good one.
Yeah.
The
Beans are
thing
good.
is, I wouldn't make any money from flabbergasted. I just like the idea that I'd have that word.
Well, no, think about like how many like because you have like garbanzo beans, you have kidney beans. all of those.
It's
they
an
have to
entire food
they
group.
they either have to rename what they're selling. They have to be like legume or like
they make it be beans but with a Z.
No.
ah, damn it.
I'd say they make it beans, but with the bee emoji.
Yes.
So it's just beans.
It's 2 E's. It's bins.
Beans.
Oh man.
If you really want contraband beans, you have to fight for the A.
Really gotta want it. You gotta pay like thousands of dollars just to use the word beans.
Worth it.
Absolutely.
Totally worth it. Or even like something simple like A, just like the letter A. Because fuck everybody else.
Yeah.
Fuck myself. I can't even.
I mean, if you're the one who copyrights it, you're fine.
Very true.
Let's make our own Newstime brand beans since we have that word now.
Hunter,
Okay.
you don't like beans. You can't weigh in on
Yeah,
this
Hunter, shut
conversation.
the fuck up.
Beans are good.
You got me there. I hate beans.
Beans are good.
Okay. I think beans were ruined for me in high school when they served those
No one
refried
cares.
beans, and
fuck refried
I
beans.
hated
Actually,
them so
you know
much.
what? Never mind. Hunter's
And
bad
I was
again.
like, "This is terrible," and then I never want to eat beans again.
Okay, so
High school beans.
I opened Chipotle this morning because that's my job.
Wild.
But so we have to set up for like all the tacos and whatnot, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That means I gotta do like 6 pans of refried beans every
I got
morning.
bean duty.
And it's not the black beans. I do have bean duty, but you know, refried beans, they come in a can, right?
Yeah.
It's just bad. It's like cat food.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like legitimately. Like if you know what cat food is, imagine it longer, and that's it.
Yeah.
Y'all got bean duty?
That was not good.
So stupid. But it's so fucking
Anyway.
Anyway.
Yeah, I would copyright beans.
So, on another note,
Just
Fuck Ohio State.
My eyes are burning out. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Why are they burning?
I don't know.
You put lemons in your eyes again.
That's my night routine.
Some people do face masks. Hunter does lemons.
I have like maybe
that's
I have
a
like
skincare routine.
I have leftover ink
Just
on my
lemons.
hands.
Hey guys, I'm gonna tell you how to finally get rid of all your horrible acne.
You know how people go to the spa and they get cucumbers in their eyes? I just get lemon slices just right on my eyes.
Have you not slept for 3 days? That sounds great. Squirt some lemons in your eyes. You'll get rid of it.
You'll close your eyes.
That's how you get rid of those dark circles, you know?
I don't know what topic I should go to next because one of these is really going to bring
There
down
was
the mood.
no
The
good
other one's going to be
transition.
like,
I'm still laughing over bean duty, so do whatever makes you happy.
fuck it, I'll kill the mood. So
Oh.
9/11.
Oh.
Wow. I was like, all right, I'm ready. I'm not ready.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was yesterday.
it was.
I totally didn't know it was happening.
It's been 18 fucking years.
I'm
That's
gonna be
crazy.
wow.
People
I'ma
who
be
were
real.
born on 9/11 are now old enough to enter the
Vote.
wars that were like started because of 9/11. Oh fuck. Yeah.
I think it's
That
weirder
shit's
that
still
the
going
wars
on.
have been going on for 18 years.
Yeah.
That's just
longer,
me.
but yeah.
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 But yeah,
I
no,
mean,
I didn't even
you
know.
know-
No,
they fucking-
actually less than 18 years because they were started after 9/11. But like the event that like was the cataclysm.
I
like,
know, it was a
don't know.
joke.
Get it? We
I
understand.
study history.
But yeah,
Do you?
I've since I've
Honestly,
been
I
doing
don't
like
know
my
anymore.
like cleanse and stuff of like social media and whatnot. I did not know it was a thing until I worked that night. And
What, 9/11? Or?
Yeah, I didn't know 9/11 was happening. I didn't even. It didn't. Like not
It's
the
a day.
event, but you know what I
the
mean.
anniversary.
Yeah.
The anniversary. I didn't know that it was the anniversary
Yeah.
because I didn't know what day it was. Like I knew it was Wednesday, right? Yeah.
It's Wednesday.
I knew that it was Wednesday, but it didn't register that the date was the 11th of September
Yeah.
because I don't think about that. And then I'm at work and we're like closing up and whatnot, and there's like all this 9/11, like there's like a service going on the TV. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I was like, oh fuck, that's today.
It's strange that none of us
Damn.
are like old enough to remember it. I'm like
Yeah.
I'm the
I was
closest. I was like
2.
3.
So
But
Yeah.
I have
Oh,
such a bad memory that
Yeah,
I
no,
don't.
I was just
I was
2.
3. No,
Apparently-
I was almost 3.
I was 1.
Wow, look
Loser.
at
And
you.
apparently on that day I was like after like my brother, like my mom picked up my brother and me and like, you know, got us home, I was playing with my blocks. And I was building up towers and then knocking them down.
I mean,
And my
that's
mom
just
was
a
like,
normal.
"What the fuck is wrong with my child?"
I mean, that's a
just
normal
something
activity
kids
with blocks.
do.
Yes, but on that day, it was just so fucking creepy to
Yeah,
her.
that's
Yeah.
fair.
On that day, it's just like an added thing, and you're like, I
I'm like, I can't
Oh,
fucking
gosh.
handle this
can't.
too.
I need to get rid of this kid.
Yeah. I feel like it's like hard for us to even like fathom it though.
Well,
Just
yeah,
'cause we didn't, like-
we weren't. Sorry, I just hit the table
Yeah.
twice now.
Yeah, it happens.
It's because we were so young that like our brains didn't start developing memories for like, at least 2 more years. For you,
Yeah.
3.
Loser.
And so like, it's hard for us to know because we don't know how we reacted or really what happened. The only reason, wow, okay. The
Yeah, speak your truth.
The only reason that we know what happened was from like school. Being it drilled into our head every year at school, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah, I've got a story about.
And then like what our parents have told us, like I know that my mom told me she was at the store and like I think she was at the store with my older brother, and I was at home with my dad, or was it the other way? I don't remember honestly. It was one of the two. I was at home with one of my parents, and she just knows that like she got home as quick as she could.
Yeah.
And my dad has told me that he, after that, like every house had a flag out. Like it did not matter. Like it was like this mass patriotism. I'm like, that's kind of cool though. It's not the circumstances, but like the fact that like
It brought everyone together.
it brought everyone together when like
All
in
the
like
white people anyway.
Yeah,
true.
in
Sorry,
hatred
I was literally in
of
class
brown.
about
No, yeah, 100%.
yesterday. We were like the whole lecture. Yeah, well, not the whole lecture, but a good chunk of the lectures because I'm taking media in the Muslim world. So a big chunk of the lecture yesterday on 9/11 was the media reaction to that, and like. Well, we talked a little about like the major tragedies that happened before it. So like he ended up like not really getting into it that much, but it was just like, yep, not great.
Yeah, I mean it was good. It wasn't good. I should rephrase that. It was
good. Andy Cervelli 2019.
good. It was like it united a lot of the white population and other populations in the United States, but it definitely alienated those of the Islamic tradition and everything, which not okay.
So we're
hate crime skyrocketed.
When we're like, America.
I'm just gonna move off that
that was
discussion
depressing.
I'm moving
Patrol.
off. No, I'm moving off. I've got a story. I'm moving off the discussion of the actual event, and I'm talking about how we remember it. So senior year of high school, 15 years after 9/11, I was on the morning announcements.
Oh no.
Oh wow!
And like,
Look at you.
We had like 2 teachers for that class. So one of them was like, "Hey, we're just like not really doing a full announcements, like just small little thing, and then playing this video."
Yep.
And we didn't watch the video ahead of time. It was something like she made or had been told to make or something like that. And so like we do the announcements, go back, and like we're just getting ready to do our work, and like the announcements are on in like the other room out of the studio, and we're like watching this video, and it's just like 7 goddamn minutes of just footage of like the plane crashing into the towers. Like it was so goddamn gratuitous.
Oh, that's
and
the
we're
shit
all
thing.
like,
That's great.
what the fuck is this?
Like good.
It's
Like that's an effective way of like showing what happened and what it was like.
It was gratuitous.
But yeah, exactly. It's a lot to process, and I'm sure that it was so much more to process if you
We're actually
lived
there,
Yeah.
and could like remember it or were there on that day. I mean, everybody was there, but like in New York at the time. But like, yeah, like that's a lot to shove down like my high schoolers' throats at like 6 a.m.
Yeah. So I'm just kind of wondering
We know you're half awake.
exactly when the like emphasis we place on that specific day is going to die down. because there's still a lot that we have to talk about in the aftermath of what happened, but
Nobody
the
talks
specific day is just brought up time and time again to defend a lot of like really shitty policy, honestly.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of wanted to.
I don't think we should move on from the event.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we should forget what happened, but I think we should look at it in.
We need more context instead of just saying it's bad that people died. We should also be saying it's bad that people died. What was the motive behind it?
Mm-hmm.
What did we do in response? What did we not do in response?
Yeah.
In invading like Iraq and Afghanistan, we didn't invade any countries that had anything to do with the attacks.
Mm-hmm.
And we're still buddy with Saudi Arabia, who did.
Yeah.
But like, I think here, hold on.
Okay.
I think what we should do is not look at it in a different light, but look at it in a broader picture kind of deal. We should definitely like look at what happened in the event, how we responded and everything, like you said.
Yeah.
But we should also look forward. Like, what are we gonna do to not change, but like to heal the wound rather than keep drilling it.
Making it
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah.
Well, no, and like in schools, every year it's the same thing. They're just like, this happened, it was bad, and they show footage, and they're like, all right, we got to remember this, and that's it.
Okay, we're
That's
remembering.
it. They don't like. I know that it's not like specifically in the curriculum or whatever, and I get that, and it's just like a moment of silence, and that's perfectly respectable.
Yeah.
But
That's
it should also be discussed how to move forward more, because it's really just, it's like brought up here, we have a moment of silence and then move on with our day.
Yeah.
That's it. And like that's how it is for most people. Like with me, I didn't even know what was happening until I was at work. Without that constant drilling like at school, it's not something that you really think about if you're our age per se,
Yeah.
because we weren't there. We didn't have the brain functions to remember it and like process that. So for us, I feel like in a couple more generations, like those people born in like 2010, 2011, once they get to like our age, it's not gonna process the same as it does for people that were not alive but could remember and process the emotions of what happened that day. And yeah, we'll have the memorials. We'll always do like a moment of silence. We'll always go to like field trips to see fucking the memorial, which honestly the buildings are pretty lit.
Never been.
But there's not gonna be like with me, like I didn't know that it was that it was happening, that it was that day.
Yeah. I think that
I think it just needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
How we can move forward as a culture rather than how we're just like, basically we're stagnant right now. We're just like, yeah, this bad thing happened, we should remember it, which is fine, but we also need to learn how to look at the event, see what happened, respect what happened, respect the lives that were lost and whatever. But we also need to we also need to talk about as a culture how to move on and how to heal the wounds that we have. It's basically like therapy. America needs to go to therapy for 9/11.
Yeah.
And right now they're not in denial, but they're in like this state where they're like, yeah, this happened, but I'm not going to deal with it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the people who are sort of controlling that message benefit from that kind of fear mongering,
Yeah.
which
I was
sucks.
just gonna.
I know, I
it's
kept
fine.
cutting you off.
It's
I'm
all
so
good.
sorry.
Hunter tried so hard.
I was gonna say is that I think it should be remembered, but it shouldn't be used as a scapegoat to push your own agenda.
Yeah.
Because that's even more offensive, I think, to everyone who had to deal with that.
Oh, 100%.
Oh,
like,
but that's still what
just
they're gonna
using
do.
it-
They don't
using it
care.
as like,
Yeah,
and like
but-
it's like going off of what I'm saying, like the fact that we're just like, hey, we remembered it, woohoo, and move on with our day. It's kind of, it's respectful that we're like, yo, this happened, a moment of silence that we lost all those lives, and this bad shit happened. But it's also kind of disrespectful because we're just like 5 minutes and then moving on.
Yeah.
It's not like we're talking about actively discussing and moving on, or like what you said, which I already forget. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
But it's just like kind of an aside, not really, but you might know what I'm getting. You might not. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut you off there
because it's word vomit
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah, a little bit. It's okay.
So we're gonna. I don't know if this will fully lighten the mood, but we're gonna take a look. We're gonna finish off the show by taking a look at a publication here at OU called The Post.
Bean duty.
Call of Bean Duty.
Oh God.
We were thinking the
Call
wrong
of
thing. I was thinking
Bean
the wrong
duty.
thing.
Call of Bean.
So The Post likes to do this article called Post Haste.
I love it.
And what they do in the title of the article is they put like one
is so
story and then they like also put like another story that they covered earlier. And so they'll like the actual article is like the first story. Then that other article is one of the multiple stories that they link to at the bottom. And this week's edition of Post Haste, the title goes,
I can't wait.
Wendy's announced a new breakfast menu. Students held a candlelight vigil at Wilson Hall for a student who died.
Wendy's, what did you do?
Fuck did you do the Post? Like, why would you do that?
Wendy's,
Why would you put
Wendy's, what
the-
are you covering up?
Wendy's.
It does make it sound like it's like a cause and effect thing. Like
Yeah.
Whenever
Yeah.
Wendy's
Exactly.
adds an item,
And
just
like
hit
what
that.
they do is they separate it with a semicolon, which like I guess helps.
It-
But a semicolon is
Yeah.
literally there to join two sentences and make them one sentence.
Yeah.
So
That's
it
what
still
a
doesn't
semicolon's
work.
Yeah.
purpose is. And I'm like, what? But
Like,
nothing will beat the article Why Frodo Baggins is Bad. But it's in the business only section. That will be my favorite article that the Post has ever written because it makes no sense.
There's some good ones though. I don't know.
So good.
Their review of the Emoji Movie was good, but I have to say that because I went to high school with the guy who wrote it. I don't remember his name though. I think it was Ben. Ben, if you're
I
out
went to
there,
high school with him,
you're-
but I don't remember who he is.
So just shout out to Ben. He's definitely
we
on
think his
Bean
name
duty.
is Ben.
So I'm going to read the article because there's a little bit more here. Today is Wednesday, September 11th, 2009. Here's what you need to know.
Oh,
Wait,
good.
2009?
2019. Sorry, I'm an idiot.
I'm like,
Wait, shit.
all right. Hell
I
yeah.
gotta go back to fourth
Damn it.
grade.
This is before Friday came out.
Oh.
Good morning. Wendy's announced their new breakfast menu, and the items will go nationwide next year. The fast food chain released a portion of their breakfast menu, including the honey butter chicken biscuit, a buttermilk biscuit with a fried chicken sandwich in between.
Is this
with whipped
sponsored
honey
by
butter.
Wendy's?
Wait, I'm confused.
The Frosty Chino, a frosty milkshake infused with cold brew coffee.
I want it.
And
Oh,
the
God, I
breakfast
want that.
baconator with egg, bacon, sausage patty, American cheese, and hollandaise sauce.
Meh.
I'm so confused. It
I just
starts
want
out
the
like
cold-
When
today is September 11th, 2019.
here's what you
Here's
need
a
to
Wendy's
know.
ad. And I'm like,
It's just such an aggressive Wendy's ad that you're just like,
Wendy's is slightly behind on attracting morning customers, but it's better late than never with some delicious breakfast items. Then you get into their links to other articles there, and like City Council introduced an ordinance for an affordable housing plan to support accessibility, sustainability, and economic development.
wow, that sounds
Bars.
actually important.
Then
Bars.
a candlelight vigil outside of Wilson Hall mourned an Ohio University student who died over the weekend, which is the one that they, put in there for
Used.
fucking clickbait.
damn.
Post.
You were spitting
You-
bars.
It's because she hasn't gotten to say anything all fucking night.
I-
We keep talking about beans.
I need to rant about the Post and their fucking clickbait post haste.
They do clickbait so
It's-
bad.
Post haste is my most favorite thing to hate.
Yeah.
So-
And they make you answer surveys.
Yeah.
Which is
articles.
bullshit.
So audience, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I have a bit of a vision for this podcast. I want this podcast to be a way for us to somehow be a more reliable source of news than the fucking Post.
That is
Hell yeah.
not going to be hard.
No, it really won't.
I mean, I think we're already there with my rundown from last week. Like that
Uh-huh.
covers everything.
If you have anything that you want us to talk about, you can always put it in the comments, which would be cool.
We would
Yeah.
like comments,
We would-
please.
We would
Yeah.
also like
Where-
comments.
Comment,
Hey.
subscribe, ring the bell.
We like
Comment-
attention.
Comment Bean duty.
Comment Bean Duty to subscribe for free year.
So I think we're just going to call this one like really short. We
Yeah.
try to go
tried.
50 minutes. We're at 40. fuck whoever went over first.
Yeah.
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 So yeah, thanks for listening. We'll catch you next week.
It was a good
We'll do better next
We
time.
will do
Please
better next time.
subscribe.
Have a good bean duty.
Have a good bean duty.
Have some beans.
Thanks for listening.
Beans.